This right here is the Merkur 34C. And this right here is the Henson AL13 Medium. In my experience, these two razors usually recommended when it comes to starting out in traditional wet shaving. So for today's shave, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how both these razors work, and hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a good idea of which razor you might wanna pick up if you're just getting into traditional wet shaving. And for my soap, I'm using an artisan that I have never used before. So I'll be using Elysian for the first time. And I'm going in with Atlantis Deep for my soap. I got something super exciting to show you. To lather up this soap, I'll be using my custom synthetic brush. I am so in love with this brush. Peter over at Spot Prints, dude, you killed it with this thing. Thank you so much. All right, let's get this shave comparison video on the way. I'm gonna get things started with the PAA Cube 2.0. Now, if you're new, maybe you're wondering, well, why do you need a pre-shave? For me personally, I find the pre-shave gives a little extra slickness during my shave. And what do I mean by slickness? Slickness is when you're shaving, it almost feels like the razor is just sliding through butter. All right, so my brush is nicely loaded. Now, if this is the first shave video that you're watching, or maybe it's the first shave video that you're watching of mine, I'm just showing you everything that I enjoy doing. At the end of the day, you shave the way you want to shave. Whether you do or you don't want to put pre-shave on, or whether you want to load your brush dry or load it hydrated, aka wet, it's all up to you. It's your shave. You enjoy it the way that you want to enjoy it. So when I say I'm loading my brush, what I'm doing is adding soap, or if I'm using cream, adding cream to the brush. That's considered loading your brush. Now, I load my brush dry, so there is no water in this brush right now. I like to go into my tub, load my brush. Once it's loaded with soap, I will then dunk it into a sink of water, give a couple swirls, then give a few really good shakes to get most of the water out. Then I'll go in there and start building up my lather. So now I'll go ahead and load up my razors using a Persona Comfort Coat. First, I'll go ahead and load the Henson. So the Henson AL13 is a 3-piece razor. I always recommend holding the razor by its sides. Next, grab the handle, twist it until it comes off. So that's one piece. Now you want to separate the bottom plate from the top cap. There's piece number 2 and there's piece number 3. Let me show you something else about the Henson. Let's say you got a Henson as a gift and you're not sure which one you got. Well, let me show you. When you remove the top cap from the bottom plate, look under the top cap and you'll see some plus signs on it. So this is a Henson AL13 Medium, and the way I know that is there's 2 plus signs. If I use the AL13 Mild, it would have a 1 plus sign, and if I use the Henson AL Aggressive, it would have 3 plus signs. So let's go ahead and load this thing now. Now, in my opinion, the Henson is one of the easiest razors to load. Let me demonstrate. So when looking at the Henson AL13 top cap, you'll see a little bar, and then on the sides, you'll see these little prong thingies. So now we're gonna grab the blade, and when you're looking at the blade, you'll notice in the center, there's a little circle here, and then you'll see these little circles on the sides. You're just gonna line everything all up. Got my top cap, got my blade, and it goes in like so. And now we're going to go ahead and attach the bottom plate. So you're going to take the grooved side, grab your top plate with the blade in, line it all up, and there you go. Now we'll grab the handle, start twisting, and there you have it. The Henson AL13 Medium is loaded and ready to get to work. The Merkur 34C is a little different. This is a 2-piece razor. Now let me demonstrate how to load it. You're going to want to twist the bottom. As you can see, the top plate just raised up. And there you go. It's a 2-piece razor. You have your center prong here, and then these 2 little knobs on the sides. You want to take your blade and line everything up. And now the top cap is loaded with the blade. Now we'll take the bottom portion of the razor, put it in like so, and tighten it by twisting the bottom. Now the Merkur 34C is loaded and ready to get to work. So now that both my razors are loaded and ready to cut down some growth, let me go ahead and start really building up this lather. So what I'm doing here is pressing the brush right up against my face, splaying it, and the whole purpose of this is to A, build up that lather, and B, help raise the hair to be cut. So I feel like my face is lathered enough. So let's get in there for my first pass, and I'm gonna be going with the grain. Now you might be wondering, well, what the heck is with the grain? And what the heck is a pass? So my first pass, really it's the first round of shaving, if you will. And going with the grain means, I'll use my cheeks as an example. On my cheeks, my hair or growth, it grows downwards. So I'm going to be shaving downwards. So that is with the grain. So now let me get in there and get rid of this growth. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Merkur 34C on the left and the Henson AL13 Medium on the right. So here we go. First pass with the Merkur 34C left side, and I'm going with the grain. All right, let me get in there with the Henson AL13 Medium for my first pass on the right side, and I'm going with the grain. All right, and there you have it. Both of these razors are so unique in their own way. The Merkur 34C has a much shorter handle and is much heavier and has that mild feeling. The Henson AL13 is much lighter. It almost feels like I'm holding a potato chip or two. The Henson AL13 is a razor with training wheels. This is super easy to use. All right, let me get on with that second pass. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna do a second pass. I know. You're used to your cartridge razor where you just shaved and then you're out the door. Well, my friend, for me, I'm going in for a second pass. When it comes to traditional wet shaving, it is your shave and you do it exactly how you want to do it. This is a really nice brush. Along with this beautiful handle, this knot is working out really well. So if you're looking for a brush or you're looking for a custom brush, reach out to Peter at Spot Prints. I'll leave his info down below. Second pass with the Merkur 34C left side, and I'm going across the grain. Across the grain. What? So as I had mentioned, my hair or growth, it grows downwards. So when I'm going with the grain, I'm shaving downwards. But now that I'm going across the grain, I'll be going across my growth. All right, now let me get in there with the Henson AL13 Medium for my second pass, right side and across the grain. And there you have it, second pass done. What I was really focusing on during that pass was the angle of the razor. I found the Henson easier to hold that angle because, like I said, it is a razor with training wheels. The Merkur had to think a little bit more to get that angle and keep it. And now you might be wondering, well, what do you mean angle? Can you show me what you mean by keeping your angle? So if you haven't shaved yet, or if you're brand new, maybe you have a few shaves under your belt, what I recommend doing without a blade is you take your razor and you put it to where you're gonna start your shave. So let's just say I'm going here. And what you're gonna wanna do is start bringing the razor down until you feel that gap. Now it's about right there, and then you're good to go. And the same thing goes with the Henson. You put the top cap to your face, I would say without a blade, and just start going down until you feel that gap. Now, if you do want to put a blade in, of course, you're more than welcome to. Just be mindful that there's a blade there and, don't press too hard and accidentally cut yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the right angle, you're not going to be cutting anything. Now let me get on with that third and final pass. 3 passes? Chris, do you spend all day shaving? I don't have time for 3 passes. I get it. Like I had mentioned earlier, traditional wet shaving is geared towards each individual person. If you want to do 1 pass, get your shave in and get out, you're more than welcome to. And if you want to do 2, that's fine. Go ahead. Maybe you want to do 2 passes and just a few touch-ups here and there. You can do that too. Or maybe you want to do 3 full passes. Hey, I get ya. Anything more than 3? Like I said, this is your shave. It is your face. You do what you want with it, my friend. So now let me get in there for my third and final pass. Here we go with the Henson AL13 Medium, third pass, right side, and I'm going against the grain. What the heck is against the grain? So as I mentioned earlier, my facial hair grows downward on my cheeks. So when I go with the grain, I'm going to be shaving downwards. By my third pass, I go against the grain, which means I'm going the opposite way. So I'll be shaving upwards. So let me get on with that third and final pass. I gotta say, the slickness of this soap is fantastic, and I've noticed the residual slickness has been amazing. Dude, what do you mean by residual slickness? So residual slickness is after you shaved off your soap. Let's say you missed a little spot and you go back to get that and you still feel some slickness within that little shave. That is the leftover slickness of the soap, hence residual slickness. Let me get in there and get that third and final pass done. Now let me get in there with the Merkur 34C, third pass, left side, and I'm going against the grain. And there you have it. Third pass done. That was a fantastic shave. Now while I was shaving, I was thinking to myself, if you are brand new, let's say you have a few shaves in or you haven't even started shaving yet, I think what I'd recommend for you to do for the next little while is only go with the grain. So only shave downwards until you really understand how to use your razor, how to hold it, and a technique that goes behind it. And once you have all of that and you feel really comfortable, then you can start going with and against, or maybe you just love going with and that's how you want to shave. It's all good, my friend. You do you. So what I'm going to do now is wash off the rest of the soap and finish off the rest of my shave. Now I'll get in there with the Parker's Alum Block. Alright, so what I just did was applied alum to my face. Now the alum serves a bunch of different purposes. It could help with any irritation and or nicks that I may have gotten during my shave. It helps tighten up my skin. And the one thing that I really enjoy about the alum is it gives me a good indication on how well that shave went. For example, if my face was really burning right now or really stinging right now, and I know I was pressing way too hard or I was being really aggressive and I need to settle down a little bit. If there's a slight tingle, then I know that was a pretty darn good shave. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get everything ready for my next shave. While I'm doing that, I'm going to leave the alum on. When I'm done cleaning everything up, I'll go ahead and wash off the alum with cold water. So hold tight while I get everything all cleaned up. So the Henson AL13 is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. And the Merkur 34C is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. And this beautiful Shave and Chat Spot Prints custom brush is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. So I've gone ahead and I've cleaned up the rest of my area. Now everything is ready for my next shave. Next, what I'm going to do is wash off the alum with cold water and get ready to put on some Thayers. First I'll apply the clear Thayers, followed by the hydrating milky toner. And now I'll go ahead and finish off the entire shave with Elysian Atlantis Deep Aftershave Splash. Oh man, that smells good. Great stuff. So there you have it, end of the shave. I really hope you got something out of this. Maybe you're leaning towards one razor or the other, or heck, maybe you want both of them. Either way, my opinion, you can't go wrong with either or. Now, like I said, both of these razors are fantastic. They both give amazing shaves. Now, if I were to pick one over the other to recommend to a new person, I would go with the Henson AL13. I would probably start with the mild first and move up to the medium, but if you're like, screw it, I'm going right to the medium. As long as you pay attention, take your time, learn your technique, you'll be just fine. On that note, you make it a great shave, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.